Welcome. Good morning. My name is Merle Tashiro, and I'll be your MC today. And I'd like to thank Reverend Kevin Kuniyuki, who is officiating today's service. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or Kansho, that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is a calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English, found in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you. Please be seated. Today's sutra is Verses Reaffirming the Vow, or Jusege, which can be found in the Red Jodo Shinshu Service Book, page 117.
Namo Amida Butsu. I have made unrivaled vows and will reach the highest path. If I fail in any way, may I not attain Buddhahood. Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha names resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice the noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teachers. May all wisdom also shine all throughout the universe and illumine one and all. If I fulfill these vows, may all land tremble with joy. From the heaven wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. Virtues of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namandam, 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 namandam.
Please rise for the recitation Homages, found in the Red Jodo Shinshu book on page 2. And then remain standing for the Gatha Arigatai, which is found in the purple Praises of the Buddha book on pages 14 and 15. So we would homages. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear them. If we do not gain emancipation in this present life, we may not be free from ill-faring in the oceans of births and deaths for kalpas. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all, with one accord, live the life of harmony
in the spirit of oneness,
free from the bondages
of selfishness.
Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teaching.
Namo. Nam.
Thank you. Please be seated. This morning, Prudence Kusano will share her Dharma message with us.
Good morning. So nice to see all of you on the first day of February. Where did January go? In place of sharing a children's story, as I usually do, today I want to tell you about the wonderful short trip Alan and I took to San Francisco. That's why we weren't here last Sunday. You know, after visiting our daughter who lived in San Francisco for over 20 years, we'd go there almost twice a year. But there was certain things that I didn't do that this trip was my little to-do list. Also to see some of the places we wanted to visit again. So we were very brave. There's no daughter living there now, so it's just Alan and me. We pretended like we were going to Japan. You know, we make our little itinerary. So we took the Bay Area Rapid Transit, or the BART, right from the airport. And of course, we're sitting in the BART going the wrong way. And then we realized, you know, I think we're supposed to go the other way. So we figured that out, and then we got there, and we got to our hotel. We stayed at the Handlery Hotel, if some of you know that, because years ago when we first started traveling with our children, that was where we stayed with the tour group. So we thought that might be a nice place to be. So we ended up there, then we walked to the ferry building down at the terminal, because that's one of my favorite places, just all these shops. And I was pleased to see that the Japanese delicatessen was still there. That's where I first tasted the Japanese-style potato salad. You know, so I tried to make one a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, so then we were walking back to our hotel, and I took some pictures along the way. As we were walking, we saw a lot of policemen on motorcycles. I said, something must be coming up. Then I heard all these crowds, and then that's what I saw. There was this huge protest march. You know, people were protesting all the killing that they had in Minneapolis. And so the signs they were carrying basically said, "No ice for good." I think that they used good as the lady's name. And you know, the first thing I thought of, I said, Alan, you know, should we hide, because you don't know whether all these ICE people might show up and start. But then instead, you know, I was sort of mesmerized. We stood at the side, and we were on the opposite side of the march. And you know, it really impressed me of how so many strangers that probably don't even know who Renee Good is, and yet, you know, you could just feel how compassionate they were. They wanted to take a stand and to say something on her behalf. And I kind of stood there, and it was after I got home, I thought to myself, you know, why did I just stand there and observe? Why didn't I go and join them, you know? And so, but it kind of took me a time to reflect that why all these strangers can group together and, you know, support her and support the cause. But anyway, so that was one of my, you know, aha moments. The next day we went to Fisherman's Wharf to buy fresh crabs right off the boat, because it's January, and that's what Alan really wanted to do. So we got there, we went to the boat, and they were selling it right off the boat. We got 2 crabs. Then about a few steps away, there are people there willing to boil it for you, you know, for a fee. So we got them to boil it. Now we got 2 cooked crabs. We have no house to go home to. So we wrapped it up, and we decided we're going back to our hotel to eat it. So we made sure it wasn't leaking, and then we took the cable car back. So we get back to the hotel, of course, we have no implements to crack the stuff. And I wasn't about to use my teeth. So then you know, good thing I always carry when I travel, and I'm sure some of you do too, those folding implement that has a plier and a knife. And that's what we used, so we were saved. So we had that for dinner. Okay, so the other thing we learned when we were there is my daughter taught us how to use Uber. And so, that's very new to us. We don't even use that here. So Alan had the app on his, and it was very, very convenient. But along the way, we see all these driverless cars called Waymo. Have you guys ever seen those? They're like that. You see, they have all these computer things on the top, on the side, and the front, and they're generally white. But there were so many of them. And my daughter said, you guys should try using them. Have any of you tried it? Oh, is it good, Joy? Oh, yeah? I told my daughter, but how would I know if the car is taking me where I'm supposed to go? And she looked at me, she said, do you know if the taxi driver is doing that? You're right, But I watched these cars, and I said, I wonder how it works. I saw one of these cars get in the back of a bus that was slowly parked on the side. And the car kind of looked around the side, it kind of moved, and there's no driver in there. And then when the Waymo saw no cars coming, then the car went around it. Isn't it amazing? I was impressed. Okay, but the one place that I really wanted to go after all these years, I always wanted to visit the Buddhist Church of San Francisco because it's really close to Japantown, and my daughter lived nearby. But, we were so busy with kids' stuff and family stuff, we never did. So this time I said, we're going to go. So we trotted off to Japantown, and this is the Buddhist Church of San Francisco. It's on Pine and Octavia, I think. So that's the entrance. And we got there, and we said, are we in the right place? So we slowly opened the door. When you open the door, you're faced with this stairwell going upstairs. Because, unlike ours, one story, it has, I think, 3 levels. It's a big building. So, this church was founded in 1808. The Buddhist Church of San Francisco was the first Jodo Shinshu Pure Land Buddhist temple established in the continental United States and is the flagship temple of the Buddhist Churches of America, or BCA. That's where the bishop resides. The temple began as a group of devout first-generation Shin Buddhists establishing the first Jodo Shin organization on the U.S. mainland on July 30, 1898. On September 1st, 1899, with the arrival of the first overseas ministers, Reverend Dr. Shuei Sonoda and Reverend Kakurio Nishima, Jodo Shinshu began to take root in American soil. So the Buddhist Church of San Francisco has been at its current location since 1910. In 1935, the Royal Court of Thailand offered the relics of Shakyamuni Buddha and his disciples, Shariputra and Moggallana, to the BCA. Can you imagine that? So the BCA leadership decided that an appropriate stupa to enshrine the relics should be built on a new temple building. At the same time, the temple was installed. So this is the stupa that's on the top of the building. And this is their altar. It's a beautiful altar. Today, the Buddhist Church of San Francisco enjoys a sense of growth beyond the traditional distinctions of culture, ethnicity, and identities to realize the meaning of a Sangha as a community of people dedicated to living the light of the Dharma and the life of Nembutsu. I think it's much like our temple. So anyway, when we got up the stairs, there was hardly anyone around because we were early. So I peeked into the hondo while Alan followed the sounds of women laughing and talking. Of course, he ended up in the social hall. And that's where he met a lot of the BWA women that were preparing refreshments for the service, after the service. So while we were standing there, we met, the guy on the right is Kevin Yuza. He's from Mililani, you met. And he of course, he went to Mililani, Hongwanji, and he's now the president of their board. So we had a nice chat, and then he introduced us around. I call it temple because we're temple. They call themselves churches. Their church has a lot of activities. They have Buddhist youth education. They have the BWA. They have a choir, scouting, both girls and boys, basketball. They have language, Japanese language, and they have 3 ministers. This is the resident minister, Reverend Melissa Opal. She was born and raised in Washington, and after a number of life events that included coming out as a member of the LGBTQ community, she left her faith and began looking into Buddhism. In 2019, she received her Tokudo ordination, and in 2022, she got her Kyoshi certification. So she is now the resident minister. This is Reverend Elaine. She asked us to call her Reverend Elaine. Her name is Reverend Donlin. She is the minister assistant, and she has her Tokudo ordination. She has an interesting activity. She is actively involved in the community, and she taught meditation and Buddhist teachings in the San Francisco jails. She's active with the Japanese American Religious Foundation, an interfaith consortium of churches and temples, and she's a founding member of the Buddhist Church of San Francisco's LGBTQ+ group, and she works as a night minister for San Francisco Night Ministry, providing chaplaincy and a minister of presence to unhoused folks living on the streets of San Francisco. So brave. She conducted, and I know she conducted a program that was held at Hilo Betsuin several years ago. And I would love to hear about her experiences doing those things. And the third minister that they have is Reverend Kaisuke Lee Miyake. He has his Kyoshi ordination, and he is a minister assistant there. He conducts all the services in Japanese, and if you see their newsletter, usually nowadays you don't see the Japanese part of it, but it's written both in English and in Japanese. So I'll leave a copy in the back for you to look at. So Alan and I enjoyed Reverend Opal's, there we are, after the service. Her Dharma message was very enjoyable, but unfortunately they zoom it out to people that don't attend, but they don't put it on YouTube. But I think if you heard it, you really enjoy her talk. The service is very welcoming and comfortable for me. And their Sangha is as diverse as ours. And at the end of the service, announcements were made. And it wasn't Kevin going up and announcing it. They had all these individuals that would go up and sort of remind people they were having their famous chicken bento sale. And so they were encouraging them to purchase their tickets. And the other thing is there was this young woman who was in charge of the Dharma school. She was a Caucasian woman, and she stood up and asked for anybody else that would like to volunteer to assist them, because the parents really want the children to have Dharma school more than once a month. I mean, I thought, wow, that's impressive. But maybe one day we can do the same thing. And one of the things that the Boy Scouts, they're having a crab and pasta feast this Saturday. And it was, a flyer was out there. Alan said, shall we go back for it? Because the tickets is $100 per adult, $50 for kids, $900 a table of 10, but it includes all you can eat. How about that, huh? Dungeness, crab, pasta, garlic bread, and whatever. Apparently they have a bigger social hall downstairs, so. And they're going to have bingo and raffle. So anyway, it wouldn't be nice if we could buy a table and then 10 of us fly up there just to eat. Okay, anyway, after the service, Reverend Elaine invited us up, and she took us up to see the stupa. And it's, you can go in, and we actually saw it. But of course, we can't share all those pictures, so I'll describe it to you. You walk in, she opens the door, and then there's another little altar, and it's just give me chicken skin. I call it chicken skin moment when she opens it, and the relic is like a grain of rice. And so there's 3 of them. And then I stood there and I said, that's the real Shakyamuni Buddha right there in front of me. It's really impressive. She says they have a lot of visitors from all over the world to come to see it, So if you ever go there, you should visit, and maybe you'll have the opportunity to go up and look at it as well. Okay. Then, of course, we got downstairs, and then we enjoyed tea and refreshments with all the people there. They're really friendly, very nice people. And all around their walls of the social hall are pictures of all the different groups and what they do throughout the year. It's quite impressive. The other things that I was impressed about is that they are an eco-sangha. It's one of those things that I keep saying we should do more of. So I took pictures of a lot of their posters. So I'll come back and ask you or tell you what I think we might want to do. But that really was the highlight of our trip for me, is to actually go and see the place. So if you ever visit San Francisco, you should go and try to see it. But, after I saw that, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to go and visit other churches that you read about, hear about on the mainland? We like to travel here and visit our fellow temples, but to go there, you get a different perspective of what other people do, and we can maybe borrow it. So let's see. I think that's the end of my sharing with you. So thank you for listening to my talk, and if you put your hands together with me and we can recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Thank you.
Thank you, Prudence. It's very interesting. So when we take our trips to the mainland, we should look what temple is close by that we can take a side trip to and check it out. Okay, so now please rise for the Gatha, Buddha Loves You, in the Purple Praises of the Buddha book on page 37. This is for all the kids out there and kids at heart. And then continue to stand for the Nembutsu on page 145. Please be seated. That ends today's service. We will have announcements now by Dennis.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Prudence, for that interesting and fun message. We have this temple, this Sangha, have visited several temples, right? We went to Moilili, we went to Jikoen, we went to Betsuing, we even went to the Kuniyuki Higashi Hongwanji. How wonderful if we'll have Prudence and Alan plan a visit to San Francisco Buddhist Church. That was interesting. And thank you, Reverend Kevin, for officiating today's service. Reverend Kevin is a retired minister. He more recently was director, I believe is the title, of the Buddhist Study Center. In, I think, about a month, he'll be back. He'll be providing a Dharma message as well. So we look forward to that. Also with Reverend Kevin is his wife, Dale. Hi, Dale. Thank you, Merle, for being the MC. She ran away because she has to get the food ready. Thank you, Alan, for being our greeter. Thank you, Cookie, for bringing the Kansho. Thank you, Lisa, for playing the piano. And of course, Ryan, who's recording this service. Let's see. We have some guests. Diane Wenishi, good to see you again. Welcome back. Emi Hashi and her baby Miki, and Emi's mother, Barbara. So welcome all of you. Hi, Miki. How old is Miki? She grew. Wow. I remember when Emi gave birth to the baby. Wow. That means I'm 1.5 years older too, so. And welcome back, Susie Yanagisawa. Okay, next Sunday is our Dana Day and Pet Memorial Service. Dana is a Buddhist practice of generosity or selfless giving to express our gratitude. We will have Irene Nakamoto as our guest speaker, and Reverend David Fujimoto of Melilani will be the minister officiant. The Pet Memorial is a remembrance of pets that have passed away. There will be a sign-up form at next week's service that you can write the name of your pet. You may bring a picture of your pet. We can place it up here. And then, of course, after the service and after refreshments, it'll be Bingo Day. As mentioned previously, in observance of our Pet Memorial Service, we're collecting clean used towels that will be donated to the Hawaiian Humane Society. There is a collection box outside of the office. And today being the first Sunday, it's intergenerational activity day. And Prudence came up with an interesting activity. I guess looking forward to Valentine's Day, cute bugs. Also being the first Sunday of February, it's birthday celebrations. Cynthia will lead this part of the announcements.
Morning. Okay, everyone who has a birthday in February, please come forward and don't be shy. Oh, okay. We're going to add something a little more when everybody gets up here and after they get their lei. Okay, after the introduction to the birthday song, we're going to sing. Okay, Joy. Thank you.
Wade has a very special birthday. His birthday is February 29. So every 4 years. So you can't celebrate in between, right? Happy birthday, Wade. Okay, big announcement. We have new members, George and Rachel. George is here. Welcome to be part of our Sangha. Okay, any other announcements? Oh, Emmy.
Good morning. My name is Emmy Hashi. I am the youth specialist for Hongwanji, the state headquarters. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about Yes Camp. Some of you might be aware, but Yes Camp is for 13 to 23-year-olds. And it'll be at Kona Hongwanji this year. And so if you know anybody in that age range, please see me. I have flyers and stickers for Yes Camp. It's a really good opportunity. Basically, like a lot of the old junior YBA members and old Yes Campers, when they grow older in college, we kind of give them training and things like that, and they become the counselors. And so they kind of run the camp. It's a really good bonding opportunity. I would say even more than junior YBA, these kids, like we mix them together, they play games. It's a weekend retreat, which I think, especially right now, is kind of needed. And so the goal is to get them off of their phones and to connect with each other, play games. And so this year, our theme is The Dharma Awakens. It's off of Star Wars. And so Reverend Blaine Higa, the current BSC director, will be the guest speaker for the camp. And so it's Easter weekend. It's kind of, I know that's kind of a hard weekend for some people, but April 3rd through 5th, so Friday to Sunday. And then if you register today, there is a early bird $60 registration fee. So $60 for the 3 days, and then after that it'll go up to $90. And also the Yes Camp counselors and staff are fundraising to try to offset the camper airfare. So as much as we can, we're going to try to cover the camper airfare. We can't guarantee that we can fundraise the full amount, but we'll try to subsidize camper airfare. So with that in mind, we are selling samurai fundraiser packs. So we're selling them for $8. And then there is furikake popcorn, mango slices, and lihing gummy bears. So yeah, I have a few with me, or I can always send some with Joy or something if there's more demand. But yeah, thank you. Let me know if you know anybody, even if they're not here today. Please take flyers to give to your potential campers. Thank you.
Okay, so Amy has extra flyers. If you could leave, Amy, some of the flyers on the table there. So if you're interested, please help yourself with the flyers.
Emmy, what Yes Camp number is that?
40.
Oh my gosh, 42. So the Yes Camp I went to was 16. So it reminds me how time is passing. Also, Emmy was our state junior YBA president back when I first took on the role as state advisor, I think, a few years ago by now. In addition to being the youth specialist, Emmy is also a lecturer, professor at University of Hawaii as well. Lisa and I wanted to announce something that we're starting. Uncle Dennis and folks had asked us to. We want to start teaching newer Gathas. There's a lot of new Gathas out there, but not everybody has. We're not all music trained, so we're gonna every so often have a sort of a Gatha practice after refreshments. We would like to invite. It's our first one's coming up February 15th. Okay, so February 15th. We invite anybody who just loves to sing. You don't even have to be able to read notes. We're just looking for a bunch of people that we can teach 1 or 2 new songs to every so often that can help the rest of the Sangha sing when we're singing during service time. And so we'd like to schedule these practices. We're not sure if we can do once a month, but we definitely want to try to schedule them as we go. So February 15th, after refreshments, we'll kind of play it by ear and we'll announce when we'll come back over to this side for just a short practice session, yeah? So February 15th, thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you to you and Lisa for planning that. Some of you know my brother Gary and me. We got these leis from our sisters, Florence and Ruby, just to let everybody know. Okay, any other announcements? Are you ready for refreshments? Let's do words of thanksgiving. That'll be up on the screen. We are truly grateful for this wonderful a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you.